but in that time, he just feel he's really on and can come back to the to the um, to the history, and is nearly die. I think so. The message from these pictures tell me for my view for me is individual. So the message is you should not follow the money's on most. Yeah, you just focus on something in the line in your line. You just focus on your lover, your family, your children, your grandmother, grandfather, your mother, your sister, and career and the money is just a part of your life. Yes.
Yes, I see. So this time, I think you did great jobs in describing the literal meaning and also the metaphor meaning. I love the way that you highlight a message in the end is really clear and also like strong. So now we will go back to the lesson today, which is presentation preparation. So the agenda is that, as I said, we will learn about anxiety management, how to prepare for a speech, and the presentation structures that can help you. So we will learn about presentation introduction and presentation conclusion in the next class. Okay.
Yeah.
So firstly, we will learn about presentation preparation. So can you think and tell me how many stages of speech anxiety that a speaker often face? So take you as an example, okay? So before you are called, like your boss say that you have to make a presentation this day, next week. So how many anxiety stage you overcome, and maybe think of the step that you used to deal with the problem. Yeah, and also think of your own way to prepare your presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really the yes. The first day is what will I talk about that? Yeah, and when the time comes up and and just a few days to the presentation days, I feel really excited. Oh, I need to prepare carefully, check many times, and try to prepare the presentation by myself. I talk by myself, and after that, when I presentation uh, directly to my colleagues and my head of department, um, uh, this last time it extremely exciting. Um, Maybe I feel nervous. Yeah, my heart rate increase. My rhythm is soft and with the fast rate. Um, After that, when I finish my presentation, maybe I feel how can I do that? And after a long time from that presentation, I will I always check my presentation by video record. I think so.
Yes. And what are your steps to prepare a presentation?
Step to prepare the presentation. For me, I prepare my presentation. The first phase I will try to find the document. I try to read a lot. After that, I make my slide before my presentation, there may be 2 or 3 weeks, and after I finish my presentation slides, I will check up and correct with the perfect slide, um, uh, without any problem or error. Um, for example, grammar or structure or anything, the reference document, anything is perfect. And after that, I try to uh, presentation by myself, and I try to write down anything I will talk about that on the slide, and I try to learn by my heart. Because when you are relaxed, when you present directly to a lot of people, you feel very nervous, and sometimes you forgot anything, and I try to learn by heart anything I will talk about that. And I, and after that I presentation. Yeah. Because I think if I prepare carefully and really detailed, I can make confident when I presentation.
Yes, I see. So, your like stages of anxiety is very similar to the one that we have. So we have 4 stage of anxiety, and your steps to prepare a presentation, I think, is good. So we'll dive in for more detail about that. Actually, yeah, like you go in the in the right track already. So it's good. So for anxiety management, we have 4 stage. And as you mentioned the pre-preparation anxiety, preparation anxiety, 2 of them, and performance anxiety. So pre-preparation anxiety, what is that? So pre-preparation means that even before you prepare for your speech. So, for example, as I said, your boss say that you will present on this day, and at that moment you're already anxious. If you fear of public speaking, and if you fear about how many people will turn up, you're already anxious at that stage. So that is called pre-preparation anxiety. And the solution for this stage, do you have that? Do you have that feeling?
Yes,
Right.
yes,
So we are anxious because we don't know what things will come, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Because in that stage you must find out a lot of
Mhm.
document and read a
Right.
lot. Yes,
Yeah. So the solution is to work on preparation immediately, because the more that you delay it, because you fear it, so you delay it. But the more you delay it, the little time you will have, and that is when the real panic comes in. That is
yeah.
the reality, not your imagination anymore. So the second stage is preparation anxiety. So this is when you are preparing everything and you have so many documents to read, but while preparing for that you still have anxiety, because like you just think of the speech ahead and you don't know if this is good enough or not. Do you have that feeling?
Yes. When you in the preparation stage, you read a lot of so many documents, and after that, in the preparation stage, you must choose the most interesting, the most useful research information you will put in your slide. It really is nervous.
Yeah. And also this stage is points out one thing. So can I ask you, what is the thing that you fear the most in your life, about work, about your work, or about success? So what is the thing that you fear the most?
Snack. I
What?
feel I feel snack and the high, yeah,
The height? No,
yeah.
I mean, so I'm not like the objects, but like someone they fear the height, right? Someone they fear being alone. Someone they fear of failure. Someone they fear of being judged. So, what kind of those you fear from others?
from other. Not really. I don't. Actually, I am not really know about my fear, but
Mm.
I saw the video from YouTube talk about that topic, and after that, I think the most mm, the most I think I will reset is die with reset.
Right. So you fear of regret, right?
Yeah.
I see that you constantly learn. Do you fear of being left behind, or you fear of not growing every day?
Not really, because for me, I think the life is balance.
Mm.
Sometimes you will grow up, you will go really fast,
Mm.
but in in the other time, you will lost and loser. That's normal for me. Yeah.
Right. So so that is your mindset, and public speaking actually highlights what you fear and also what you believe. So for some people, they say that they fear public speaking. Actually, the thing that they fear is they fear of being judged by others, because in real life they also fear of being judged by others. They do not need to go to a stage and feel that. They can feel that every day. That's why they, when they come to a stage, when they have to do public speaking, that fear become more intense. So for those people, it's really necessary for them to understand the root cause of their fear of public speaking is the fear of being judged, not the public speaking itself. So they can work from their fear instead of trying to work on public speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the breast. So also so that is first thing. Understand your root cause if you have a like you if you have fear of public speaking. Second thing is very important. So before you do any kind of speech, the very important thing is to visualize your speech in your mind. So you have to know exactly what you will do, where will it be. For example, you are told to present in a room. You should know what room does it look like, right?
Yeah.
So is it a big room or a small room? How many guests are there? Do you have a big board for you to show your slide or not? All of the things you have to check. And then you can visualize in your mind you staying in that room doing presentation. Because if you don't know anything about that day, if you're just told that, okay, you will do that a speech for 5 minutes on that day, and you have no other information, it will be really confusing for you to prepare also, right?
Yes.
Have you ever been in that situation when you're told to do a speech without any clue?
No, I try to make get
Right.
a lot of information, how many patients and how large in the room,
Yes.
and
Does it
who
have a
who
projector?
yeah, yes,
Right.
and slide too.
Yep. So those are the things that we need to know and prepare in advance. Okay. So clear about preparation anxiety? Any question?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. So the next stage is pre-performance anxiety. So pre-performance anxiety means that the moment before you go, you present your part. So it means that maybe you're waiting for your friends to present, your colleague to present, or before the event start. So what you can do is firstly about your about your physical health first. So because you're kind of like anxious, right? So your body is kind of stiff. What we suggest you is maybe you can go to a toilet. So if that place have a toilet, you can go there. Do a little bit of vocal warm up. You remember that from the previous lesson, the vocal warm up, the lip warm up, and the jaw warm up. You can do those. But if it has a lot of people around, maybe you cannot do those. To find a quiet place so that you can like shout as loud as possible to make your voice and your like jaw a little bit relaxed. Then you can shake your body. Why we tell you to shake your body? Because when you do physical activity, your body will release an enzyme that helps you to divert your attention a little bit and help you to be more energetic. So there is a very big difference between a presenter, a public speaker that is sleepy, out of energy, and a public speaker that is full of energy. So that's why shake your body is the way for you to release the energy. Next is breathe in and breathe out deeply at least 10 times. So we can do this together. So firstly, breathe in for one, breathe in, breathe in. You have to breathe in. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, breathe out. Hold for one, two, three, four, five, six. So you
Yeah.
have to breathe in for three counts and breathe out for six counts. And actually, that will allow more air to your lungs, and you can sound more like you can sound nicer and you can sound louder.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any question about pre-performance anxiety?
When I study in the medical university,
Yeah.
and the teacher taught me when you get nervous, your body will release the adrenaline hormone. That's how your heart rate, your blood pressure increase. And if you use breathing deeply and reach out deeply for many times, its effect on your heart rate and blood pressure and will be result in you can calm down, uh, relieve your anxiety before you resent.
Right. So it's a good technique, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do it every time I feel nervous.
Right, right. That's good. So yeah, people they also use a bag to even enhance the effect of breathe in and breathe out using a paper bag. Yeah, but if we only see it in films. Okay. So next is performance anxiety. Performance anxieties is also about managing your breath because that is the time when you're on stage. You can't either shake your body or either scream out. So the only thing is to manage your deep breath, breathe in for three counts, hold, and then breathe out for six counts. So when can you do these? It is the pause in your speech. So remember, connect with the previous lesson about the pause between the speech. So you have to pause sometime, right? So in those pause, you can use it to breathe in and breathe out. And actually, for singer, they also have to learn to manage the air in their like belly to make their voice sound better, and they can talk for or they can sing for a longer period of time. Yep.
Yeah.
So manage your breath is really important in public speaking and also for long speech and presentation. So do you
Yeah.
have any question about manage your deep breath?
You said, but how can I make the I I can manage my deep breath, my talk, my speak when I resent in Vietnamese. But sometimes I resent in English. I talk, I speak a long sentence. I can manage my breath, and I just talk the neutral uh,
Yeah.
intent, neutral intent, and I can speak fluently by in the long sentences.
I see. And that is actually, you have to connect with the lesson pause. Last time we said that you cannot speak for a very long time continuously because by doing so, not only you are tired, but also the listener will be tired. So you can pause before the speech to breathe one time, pause after transition between the first point to second point, breathe another two times, and also you can pause before or after an important point. You can breathe in, say the point, and then breathe out. So the
Yeah.
breathe can be like put in between those moments when you pause during your speech.
Yes.
Yep. And you do not have to like stand really still and then like breathe. That way the audience will notice. So you just breathe really like soft and like subtle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So next is presentation preparation process. So do you have any questions so far from the how to manage your anxiety or any like other question?
No. No.
Okay. So now how to prepare your presentation. Firstly is to know the audience. So firstly, you have to know your audience first. So for example, if you're told to do a presentation for your colleagues, you know them already. So what kind of audience you usually present to?
Uh,
What are they like?
yeah. Mostly in my for my colleagues in my major. Mostly. I sometimes I had a health talk webinar with the community version for community such as the Kindle collaboration and tech company.
So like, can you be more specific about their age group or the gender? Usually they're male or female, and their age group will be from where to where.
No, no.
No specific data.
How can you repeat your question?
So I ask you for the colleagues that you usually present to. Do you know their age group, like their average group? They are above 30 or above 40. How
Uh,
old are they in general?
General, yeah, from the 20 30 to until the 50 or 60. Yeah.
So your age group is very broad. So there is a someone who is 20 and there's even someone who is 50,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
And mainly are they male or female?
Yeah, general. I have. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So second, why are they there? So can you tell me why often your colleague shows up to listen to your speech?
Yes, I usually present my study. Yes. I do the clinical research and I try to uh, analyze it of data and present the result with my colleagues to get some the deep view from the data to get the in innovative the way to improve the care. Sometimes I present the slide for updating the knowledge or the information in my major, and a few times I present to training the community um, to acquire the stock size and how how to manage this problem.
Right. So they are mainly there to gain information from you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right, what one point there because to gain information. Uh yeah. So I think that is almost all reason. So what keeps them up at night? So this is a question that helps you to know about their biggest concern. So for your colleagues, do you know what is their biggest fear or biggest concern or their commonality with you? What they have in common with you?
Not really, no. Yes.
So what do you usually
Didn't. Yeah,
share together?
I haven't get the receipt feedback from my colleagues. Just just a few one or two version in the locker room, and I can't do.
Okay. So maybe the reason your colleagues stay there is, are they like is it compulsory to join your section or it's optional?
Can you repeat that, please?
Like your colleagues, do they join your section to listen to your sharing? Is it compulsory? It means that they have to go there, they must go there, or it's optional, they can choose whether they want to go or they do not go?
Yeah, I think a half. Yeah,
Right. So
yeah,
maybe they are there for good information. Maybe they want to like level up their skill, level up their expertise, and maybe they want to like become more knowledgeable and also climb in their career ladder. So I think those are their concern, because if not, they won't show up to hear about information of medical topic, right?
yeah.
So how can you solve their problem? So this is the thing that you will put in your presentation. How can you solve their problem?
That's the way I do when I prepare my presentation, because for me, I think I only make the good presentation when I prepare very carefully and really more detail. And if the audience see the slide really clear, really informative, and really really beautiful, something beautiful, I think that will be focused on my present.
Right. So I think it's true. So now, like, can we do it like, because in the end of this class, you like it will be home challenge for next class. You haven't finished the home challenge of previous class. So the next home challenge, I will tell you from now because you need some time to load, is that you gonna firstly analyze the audience, and then you pick a topic that might interest them, and then you will prepare for that speech. Okay. So maybe now you want to spend a little bit of time do the audience analysis. You will write down your audience group, their age group, what they are interested in, what is their problem, and how can you solve their problem. Okay.
Yeah,
So you may want to list out now, because let's not make it a home challenge. Let's make it in class so that I can give feedback immediately to you. Okay. So now please do the audience analysis, and then we can move to the second step. We can continue. Okay.
yeah. But how you
Right.
can the how how do you get the data from the audience to analyze it and get the view from that?
Mm, right, right questions. So usually for a section that is internal, like if you are sharing with your colleagues, you will have the participant list, or if you don't have, it's very easy to have it by asking the HR or by asking the one who tell you to do the presentation. So you can get a briefly like where they from, which department they are from, and maybe how old are they. Because if they are very young and energetic and dynamic, and they are from some other department, and you present to them something that is very sleepy, that's very theoretical, they may not interest. So even if your speech is really good, but if you pick the wrong topic for the wrong type of audience, it will be worthless, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's why it's really necessary for you to choose the audience.
yes.
Okay.
And you should know the audience you will present.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so now I will give you 3 minutes to analyze the audience, and then we'll go to second step, and then we continue preparing. I'm helping to prepare a speech step by step, and then you can deliver it at the end of this class. Is it clear?
No, but now what what
Now,
what I do now?
so now you will imagine that you have to present
Yeah,
a presentation of any topic to your colleagues. Your
yeah,
colleagues. So now you will analyze your colleagues. You know your colleagues, right? You meet them every day. So now you analyze them. You may think what may interest them. Then you pick a topic that can interest them. Any
Yes.
topic. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So please analyze them for in 3 minutes. Okay. Analyze step by step. Here. So first is what are they like? Why are they here? What interests them? What concerns them? And how can you solve their problem? Okay. Okay, thumbs up. You finished?
Yes. Finished.
Okay. So now we're gonna go to the second step. So the second step is that you choose the general objective of your speech. So there are four levels of a speech or a presentation, and also this is a general objective. So the first level is to speak to inform. Speak to inform means that your speech only provides information. For example, you tell them about this new theory or like this problem and then have to solve it. So speak to inform basically like you tell them information of one thing, one topic, one subject. So it's only contain information. And after listening to your speech, they can gain a lot of information from your speech. So that's the first basic level, speak to inform. The second level is to speak to inspire. Speak to inspire means that, for example, TED Talk, sometimes, like most of the time, for example, self-help book. So there are some people they reject, they dislike self-help book, because they think that those are too meaningless, pointless. It's not worth reading because sometimes it only touched to the level speak to inspire. So self-help book, what they do is that they will make you feel the inspiration. You are urged to think about that problem. So that is called speak to inspire. But like some self-help book are like that, but most of the time is I think it's good. Or TED Talk speaker, they do a very good job in making you inspired because it's their thing, right? It's their like trick and those are their profession. So have you ever, that is also a question that make you want to make you feel inspired, and also the call for action in the end, for example, just do it, and one day you will feel surprised about how different you are from you're from what you are now. So those are the inspirational quotes and also inspirational saying that want to make you feel inspired. So this is the second level, speak to inspire.
Yeah.
You get it? Get it
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. The third one is speak to persuade. So
What's
speak to persuade. You know the word persuade?
no?
Persuade means that you want someone to do what you tell. For
Yeah.
example, like khuyên or yeah, khuyên nhủ. For example, I persuade you to buy my clothes in
Yeah.
selling. Yeah, that's called persuade. So speak to persuade means that you want others to do what you tell. For example, in your speech, you make a 5-minute speech about protect the environment. So after the speech, you want the first level, firstly tell the audience how important it is to protect the environment, or like what are people doing now that harm the environment, how bad is it, and what can we do to protect the environment. That is the first level, speak to inform. Then you call another level, speak to inspire. You can mention like people have spent so many money and effort to protect the environment and how things have become better now. That is called speak to inspire. You inspire others to take action. And then lastly, you ask a call for action. So protect the environment now. Leave your name in this leave your name in the mail, and we will tell you exactly what you need to do to protect the environment. That is called speak to persuade. You persuade others to take action. So speak to inspire, the thing is only in their head, but speak to persuade, they do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And lastly is speak to entertain. So this is like another thing, because speak to entertain means that maybe like you're dancing or singing while you present a speech. So this is often found in not like normal presentation, but often in TED Talk. So when people are presenting about a topic of music or like the color of sound, there is a speech about the color of sound, and that girl, she has a big piano beside her. So whenever she presents, she need to make a point. She sit down at her piano and she start to play the chords. So that is called speak to entertain. So that is the thing that we don't touch because it's off professional. So we will care about three level: speak to inform, speak to inspire, and speak to persuade. The
And
Yep.
speak to entertainment. What mean when you speak presentation, you just relax onto something like entertainment.
Yeah, you make your speech entertaining. You like for entertaining speech, you have to make people feel amused, like they have to be surprised, laughing, joyful, a lot of things. So that is a very hard level to achieve while still keep the content. So
Yeah.
we will care about the first three only. Okay. So
Yes.
speak to inform. Is that the kind of thing that you usually do in your daily life?
Yeah.
Yeah, you speak to inform all the time, right?
No.
Never.
Sometimes I speak to was when I resign the latest study or latest knowledge in my major. Maybe I change the view from that problem to my colleague, and then they maybe follow up and change the way they do.
Right. But actually, they do not come separate because if you only persuade, if you don't provide any information, how can they be persuaded? Right?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah. So you have to say, speak to inform first, and then you bring it to another level, speak to inspire, and then you bring it to another level, speak to persuade.
Yes.
Yes. So have you ever speak to inspire, like you inspire somebody through your speech? Have you ever wanted to do so through your speech?
Not really.
Yeah. So, right. So, how about speak to persuade? You did it already, right?
Just one time, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that is why you need to know the general objective because if your speech has only the speak to inform part, it can be forgot. So after I listen to your speech and after I go home, maybe I won't remember anything much if I don't take note all of the theory.
Yeah.
But if you have in your speech also to speak to inspire, you don't make other people fall asleep because of all of the theory, but you make them feel inspired and make them feel interested. They want to learn more. They want to find out more about that thing by themselves. That is already called speak to inspire. And speak to persuade is when they actually find out about that thing by themselves, or they do what you want them to do. It's called speak to persuade. So I tell you the other two objective of a speech for you to put in your future speech to make it more impactful.
Yeah.
Okay, clear about this part?
Yes, clear.
Okay. So after the general objective, you identify what you want your speech to do. You will have a specific objective. So specific objective is actually your topic, right?
Yeah.
Clear? Okay. So your topic have to be really clear at the beginning of your speech or else you will go around and around. And after going around, you still not know like when should you finish your speech because your objective is not clear and the audience also not clear. Okay.
Yeah.
So next is the message. So the message is actually, do you remember the first exercise? You tell the final thing is the message of the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this time your message is also like that, but it's a one sentence, short sentence that has all of the thing your speech want to do. For example, Steve Jobs used to have a speech in which he talks a lot, but in the end, he summed up with stay hungry, stay foolish. So that is all of the thing his speech said previously, and now he summed up with a very easy to remember message.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also that message is your call for action. Call for action means that what you want others to do or to think after listening to your speech.
Yeah.
Okay, clear?
Clear. Yes.
Did you take notes?
You will send me the lights.
But you will also prepare for. Okay,
Yes.
maybe we will put it as home challenge. Okay, so now we come to the presentation structure. So this time you have to practice along learning. Okay? So we have four presentation structure in general. The first one, PREP. Can you guess what is it?
Prepare.
No, no, no. So the P is a different word. R is the abbreviation of a different word. Is a different word, and P. So they all stand for some words.
I feel like because I saw it, but I didn't remember.
Yes, the first P stand for points. Points.
Toy.
Your points.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second is reason. We have it in our notebook. Reason. And then we have example. And then we have another point to sum up. So this structure is very easy. So you have 1 point, for example, um, I like blue. The reason is blue can be found in so many objects. For example, you can find the blue color on the sky, or you can find a blue color in the sea. So blue, that's why blue is my favorite color. So I just have a really short saying paragraph with the PREP technique. Are you clear?
Not really.
Okay, so maybe you find like a point for yourself first. Maybe can you find a point now?
My point.
Do you think of any topic to speak about?
Learning.
Learning. Okay, so maybe your point is why do we need to learn?
Yeah.
Okay, and next you have to follow your point. You have to, because you cannot just tell others 1 point and then stop, because it is not persuasive.
3 points.
So yeah, you have to do 3 points: the point, the reason, example, and then the summary. So
Yeah.
point is, why do we have to learn?
Yeah.
We have to learn because learning is essential for our growth. For example, uh, one can graduate university. One can uh, graduate university, and by university they can receive the internship, and then they can have a better job and more easy to get a job through university. And that's why my next point is learning is, and that's prove my position why learning is important. So that is the summary.
Yeah.
So you can also do it like the first P is the first point, then R is the first reason, is the second, is the first example, and then point again is another reason.
Yeah.
So for, yeah, like you have to protect the environment, because firstly, the environment is very important to us. The reason is, if we don't have the environment, we have nothing to live, to eat, and to grow. For example, in Mars, we have no waters, and that is not a great condition for us to live. Uh, and by contrast, Earth is a very good condition for, is the one and only condition that is good for us to live. The second reason why you need to protect the environment is, and then you have again the reason for that and the example for that, and the third reason. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you can understand it better through practice. So the first one, please apply the PREP technique and talk about this picture. So this picture is abstract, right? You can choose any theme or topic to talk about it. So maybe it's about time.
P. How many time I got?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Not 2 minutes to prepare, 2 minutes to speak. You have to speak immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just do the body. We do not care about the introduction or conclusion, just the body and the structure. PREP.
I could love to talk about the time. I why do why you think the time is really important? Because uh for example, when you has only maybe around 60 years for your life, maybe around in general, you just pass more than 20 years in the school and grow up from your child. After that, you you um, get the new job in, and after that do the great job and get the income, get the money. It takes around 10 years later. and after that you got married and had a child around the 10 year and 15 year later too. And how I want to talk about the time, because you know for in the general you have to spend nearly 55 years for your life, and you must to grow up as fast as possible, because when you grow up and you can independent financially, you can give back to your mother, your father. When you got the 50 or the 55 years old, your mother or your father is really old, and if you you didn't try to make successful, you didn't try to independent in your financial, you can't give up to your parent. Yeah. You
Right.
need.
So, oh,
Yeah.
you haven't finished?
No, because I would love to talk about the time you must sell anytime you
Yeah.
get in your life, and try to do the best you can.
Right. So I see that you use the structure really well, PREP. So you use the structure really well. What I suggest you to do is, because for like the transition between the first point and the reason and the example is very clear. However, when you come to the second point, the transition is not so clear anymore because you have speak for quite a long time. So it's quite hard to follow at the second point. Okay, so my suggestion is maybe you highlight like my first, like firstly, I want to talk about, or like you have a strong signifier. Like firstly, I want to talk about, or maybe the first thing I want to talk about is, and then for the second one, the second thing I want to talk about is, and also please apply body language because we learned it already. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this structure you did really well. So we will come to other structure as well. So this one, past, present, and future. So basically, it means that for one topic, you can talk about it in the past and about it now and about how it will be in the future. For example, the topic is education. So you can talk about, if you ask me, what is the ideal education 10 years ago? I would answer is the education that teach good literature. However, if you ask me what is the ideal education system now, I would say that it is a mixed balance between math, literature, and also leadership or like other social skill. And in the future I suppose that, so that is how you can link between the past, you compare between the past, say the present now, and also how things will be in the future. So is it clear about this structure, right?
Yes. A little bit.
Okay. A little bit, so let's practice. So this time you're going to talk about this topic, so maybe investing or
Yeah.
environment, anything.
Yes. If 10 years ago, maybe you you didn't um you didn't feel uh contrast or focus on this topic, invest in the nature. And now maybe we already get the problem with our nature, our environment, and they are planning for a few plan to try to plant the forest, plant the tree, and protect the the ocean and the river too. But for me, I think in the next 10 years, the environment must be protect better than now, because the economy is grow up, and there are a lot of factory and a lot of um, air pollution now, and I think in the next 10 years it will be development, and we must to invest a lot of in the near future to protect our environment and our nature.
Okay. So this time you follow the structure well, from past, present to future. And I also like the way you support your idea with reasons and also so for this a little bit of tip is that you can incorporate the PREP in the past and then PREP to express the present and PREP to express the future.
Yeah,
Right? You can combine them. And some suggestion for you to become better is firstly the eye contact. You tend to look around while you're speaking because you're thinking. So try to not do that and focus on the camera lens. And secondly is your sentence is has enough idea and meaning already. But because you cut them down. So instead of saying a full sentence, you chop them down and you fill in with the or the filler words. Okay, so that makes your speech a little bit like not going smoothly, fluently. So maybe you want to be aware of that you are using filler words sometimes. You may want to pause or you say the whole sentence. You pause a little bit, you think of the sentence, you say the whole sentence instead of like chop, chop, chop. So that will be better.
yes, I need more time to repair.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of home challenge. That is the only thing that you can have more practice time outside class time. Okay. The third presentation structure, advantage and disadvantage. You know about this already, right?
Yes,
Yes, we usually use this to highlight the strength and weakness of something or why it's good to do this and why it's not good to do this. And a little bit of like tips is that for the advantage, you may not want to say a whole paragraph going around and around about how good it is. So you might want to apply PREP, for example, to highlight like the first advantage is why, for example, the second advantage is why, for example. That will be more structured. And you can
yeah,
also use the first, second, third to help you to organize your idea. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so we will try with, let's see which this one, advantage of marriage. I don't know.
Talk
Now
about that.
you look at the picture and whatever you think of using the advantage and disadvantage framework.
Advantage in now and disadvantage in the near future. I think so.
Yes, you can talk about it.
uh, it's difficult to talk anything about that. Maybe romance night with the beautiful couple
Or maybe
with the grass.
if it's hard, you can choose a topic for your own. Maybe like maybe wearing uniform. Or you're a doctor. Do you wear uniform?
And how can I use the structure advantage and disadvantage? How
You
can
can
I do that?
you can say the topic. For example, for children, should they wear uniform to school? So you firstly highlight the advantage of wearing uniform to school, firstly, secondly, thirdly, and then you can highlight a disadvantage of wearing uniform to school, and then maybe later, like later, you can summarize your position that you. And though this topic has two sides, you are more to which side, or are you neutral, or you can provide a solution like if people wear uniform to school but they do this, then I will support that side.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything about this picture.
Yeah, so for example, this picture you can say the advantage of, like, you're a doctor, right? So you know when people are in love, which enzyme do they have? Dopamine or oxytocin?
Oxytocin. Yeah.
Oxytocin, right? So maybe the advantage of those enzyme to affect other aspect of your life, maybe will it help to you to become a happier person or not?
uh really difficult to talk. Yeah.
Maybe I would choose another one
Yeah.
for you.
Change topic, please.
Let me think of, oh, this one. Oh, this one is easier. Wait, I have to stop sharing for a little bit. So you will talk about this one, this topic.
$1.
Yeah, the dollar. Using the advantage and disadvantage structure.
uh I could love to talk about the money. Yeah. And if you got the money, you are really rich, you have lots of money, you can do a lot of things. You can invest your business, you can give back to your parents, you can invest your child, invest, build your beautiful home, and a wonderful trip to the other ocean, the other and go to traveling around the world. Yeah, but you need to uh, aware about the result, uh, the consequence of the money, because if you had lots of money, you must spend a lot of time on much your time to do your work, to do a great job, to do the successful career, and spend on much time to follow your career and the money. And uh, the other the on the other hand, you has a little bit time for your family, for to return to the hometown, to reunion with the relatives, people, reunion with your parents. And after maybe 20 or 20, nearly um, your life, when you get older, maybe you regret because many related uh, people, many your parents may be really older, maybe they get sick, and sometimes you can't come back to time um, to have wonderful time with them.
Right. Okay. So I love this time you touch to another level, speak to inspire, because the way that you tell till the end talk about parents, about money, about you can be with them when they get older. So your voice is soft and you speak slowly. That's how you achieve the sadness, evoke the sadness in the mind of the audience. And about the structure, you did like a good job in like highlighting the advantage and disadvantage. So what I suggest you to do is to like for each side, you can firstly mention so the advantage of this is so if you don't do this, it will cost you. Or on the other side, money also has its disadvantage. So you should have a summary before you start a new point. So point first and then reason and then example because you give a lot of reason, but you don't highlight what point is that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it makes a little bit hard to understand, but still I can understand the structure about advantage and disadvantage. And yeah, I think you did good job. But maybe next time still incorporate hand gesture and also eye contact. This time you're better at eye contact, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to what we prepared. So the next structure is problem and solution. So this is the common one that you use. Do you commonly use this structure?
Problem and solution. Yeah, you usually use it.
Yeah. So what you may want to know is to make it even more powerful. So for the problem, please don't just mention the problem. So like this is what we're facing. This is what we're having. So that's it. So it's not enough to make people care because only when they think that the problem is really important or they care about the problem they will hear your solution. If they don't think the problem is urgent or necessary or relating to them, they won't care about the solution you give. So for the problem, firstly you may want to describe what is the problem. Secondly, you may want to say how urgent is the problem or how significant is the problem to make people care. And then for solution, you can apply PREP and first, second, and third. Clear?
Can you give a sample?
Okay. So for example, the problem is that people nowadays use too many plastic straw. For example, so plastic straw is something that we see every day, and without our knowing, plastic straw has become something much more dangerous than we think they are. Because firstly, the plastic that we use in plastic straw uh, cannot be dissolved in water or in the ocean without any special practice. So if the trash somehow they travels together with the sea, they are thrown to the sea, they are thrown to the lake, somehow they go all to the ocean. It will be there forever. So and now think of the consumption of plastic straw. So you think the small tiny plastic straw cannot make any difference? But think back, how many plastic straw have you used today? One, two, or three? And how many plastic straw will you use in a week? And multiply that to the residents of this city and the resident of a whole global. How many plastic straw will people produce per day, per week, and also per month? And that's already create a bigger impact than we thought. And now I will give today, that's why I'm here to give the solution to this problem. The first thing we can do is to raise awareness of people for not using plastic straw at first. Because by not using plastic straw, we already contribute to a lot rate loss of plastic that are dumped into ocean without any further expensive money costing tactile. Second thing is that uh, you can like contribute in the campaigns that can collect plastic straw and also to reproduce plastic straw or even sell the wooden straw that people can use for fashion purpose or and of course for environmental purpose. So those donation programs are available and are there for you to join. And the last thing you may want to do is to substitute plastic straw with other thing or don't use it at all. So those are my solution for this problem. And follow us because plastic straw will might harm your life more than you think one day. So that is my example.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So if you follow the problem and solution, just one presentation structure, you can make a real speech out of it. Right?
Yes.
So if you have time, pick this structure and apply it to your speech because some of the problem of you in the first day was to talk around and around. So these presentation structure will help to guide you where you can which point you need to talk about or like to help you not to talk around and also for you to generate more idea. You understand the last part? These structure can help you to generate idea because if someone gives you a topic and you don't have these structure, you will think of a lot of like possibilities. You will think of a lot of things to say, but those things may not be related to each other or they are like repeated. So if you have a structure, you can think, oh, so now what I need is to think of problems. So you think of only problems. And for solution, now I need to think of solution. So you only think about solution only. So that will save you the time to think immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, are you living a meaningful life? So you may want to reflect back to your life, talk about any problem, and then provide solution for it.
Really? Um. Yes, I do.
Is it okay?
Difficult too.
Do you have any problem in your life now? Like anything that you would like to improve?
I think. I think. I think I have many good way to do, and my problem now is pursue my way and try to improve myself day by day.
Mm. So maybe it's about motivation, right? Do you often lack motivation?
No, no, but my English is not really good, and
Mm.
I try to improve my English.
Yeah, so you can talk about your English.
Yes. Uh, um, I have a purpose of my life. Yeah, I try to do to to make my gun in reality. Um, I set up the way can I achieve my goal and the next step, next step by step to in every period in my life. Must be I must to achieve that step. After that, achieve the next level too. And in it is a problem in my way because I could like to be an international speaker, and and in it is a absolute either language I have to proficient. And when I study in high school, primary school, secondary school, and high school, I study in the rural area. Um, Although I spend a lot of time for English, but my English and my pronunciation not really good. After went to the university, I realized English is really important. Um, before that in high school I just focused on the subject to pass the competitive examination to apply to the university. I forgot the English too, and after that moved to the university. I realized English is really important, but I really confused to find out the way to improve my English. Yes, I invest a lot of money to to learn English. I spend a lot of time to practice English, but my motivation is not really strong. I invest a lot of money, but I absent so many classes. Yes, and I think the solution is I forgot on my goal. Really focus, really concentration on my goal. And each step I need to focus and have to achieve the level 2. And in this period now, I must to improve my English, my grammar, my writing skill, my scientific writing skill, my uh, social communicate with the other person, with the native speaker. I try to make the short internship to make the connection with the natives expert in the world. Uh, the second thing, I think I must practice a lot because during the COVID-19 pandemic time, I forgot English maybe nearly 2 years, and we didn't talk anything about English. I tried to listening the video on YouTube, but not really effect on on English skill. The last thing I think I must to maybe I have to apply for the scholarship, maybe the 6 month to 1 year in the foreigner and native country. That is a good way to improve my English too.
Right. So this time, I think you did a really good job in like firstly pointing out a problem, secondly highlighting out what you can do step by step to solve it. So yeah, this time I think that your information is enough. Uh, the highlight point, firstly, secondly, thirdly, is clear. But else, I suggest that you have more vocal variety stresses in the
Yeah,
problem and also the solution. So you stress to make people feel more interesting about which part. So you stress in, for example, I dropped it for 2 years, 2 years. So the numbers in a presentation, the numbers are the thing that you can stress because they are easy and also they are striking, providing them data and they will load things really quickly. So you may want to stress the number
yeah,
and also use hand gesture.
yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
So the last structure that we have is cause and effect. So cause and effect, basically cause is the reason of the problem. What caused the problem? And effect is how it affects you,
Yeah.
how it affects your life. So now I will give you the topic of for this because it will be more suitable. So can you tell me what is one bad habit that you are having?
Bad habit.
Mm.
Lazy.
Yeah, so maybe you talk about the cause and also the effect of that.
Ah, not lazy. Bad habit. I really lazy. I good as the something in my major, but for almost anything else in my life, I really lazy. Yes, do the hard work, I really, I really lazy. My wife always complain about that. Uh, yes, I waste money. That's why I spend money to rent a housekeeper to clean my house someday per week, and I spend more than maybe 3,000, 3 million Việt Nam đồng per month for her. Also, I lazy to plant the tree. I plant
Mm.
many tree around my home, but I didn't. Sometimes I rarely put the water, put the nutrition to them, and some of them is nearly dead now. It's really poor. The other thing I really rarely to make the breakfast the lunch. Um, I rarely cook for my family. Yeah, and now my wife study abroad around for 1 month, and I always eat in this store. Yes, that's all.
Okay. So, yeah, but you don't talk much about the effect. So, because you're talking together, cause and effect, and cause and effect. So, you may want to say the first, because the only problem you mentioned is lazy, right? So, you can mention all the cause surrounding the lazy. So, in which situation that you're lazy, why you don't want to cook breakfast or lunch, why do you want to do housework, and in contrast, what motivates you so much to do the thing that you like, what is the difference between the two worlds. And secondly, you might want to tell the effect, firstly how it affects you yourself first, and how it affects your wife, your family life, and also does it affect other aspect of your life. That is the structure of this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, can you tell me one key takeaway for today, and then I will leave you with your home challenge?
Oh,
Today
today,
we learn a lot, right?
yeah, today I'm learn about how to anxiety stay
Yeah.
before making the presentation, and how many steps to prepare the presentation, the PREP structure to present the problem, and uh, many structure when you present the presentation, such as cause and effect, um, the past, the reason, and the future, and maybe 2 or 3 structure more. Yeah,
Problem and solution.
yeah, problem and
Okay.
solution. Yes,
Okay, so what you need to do at home is to you finish analyze the audience already. So now you choose a topic that may interest your colleagues. It can be about your major, or it can be other side like family life or something like that. So any
yes,
topic that can interest them, and then you use at least two structure to form a body speech, and then you will record a video. So you have two homework, the body language thing, and then the analyze the audience. Okay, you have
yes.
to do the homework to become better. Okay, or else you lose so many money but cannot learn anything. Okay.
Yes, could you please send me the slide today,
Yeah,
please?
yeah, I will send you today.
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
so much. Have a good night.
thank you, goodbye.
Goodbye.